if you want to display different routes and different pages inside your React application, this is a video for you. Here I got my React application running and there's nothing fancy about that. What I need to do here is to go on main.jsx, and here we can see that I got only one file that is displayed, which is the app.jsx. And on the app.jsx I can write everything that I want, but here basically is just one page. And probably you would like to have different pages inside your React application. For that, we need to use another package and to do some configuration to get the routes display and also to declare the routes with the component that we want to push to. So after that, it's going to display all the pages that we want, depending on the path that we are going to just write here on our address bar. Okay, so for that, I'm going to use React Router, and React Router here is made by Remix. So basically, what we need to do at first is to install React Router, and then we need to do some changes inside our app. So I'm just going to come back. I'm going to stop here my server. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to install React Router. So I'm going to just zoom a little bit. There we go. I'm going to clean it here. And I'm going to type npm install React Router DOM. Okay, here it's going to install React Router DOM that we will use directly inside our app. Okay, when it's done, I can start all over again my app, and coming back to my code, I'm going to do all the changes, the necessary changes. Okay, the first thing that I want to do is just to here go on main.jsx. And here on main.jsx, we need actually to bring two functions from our new package that we just installed. So here, just after React DOM, I'm going to import create browser router and router provider from React Router DOM. Okay, once it's done, just in here, I need to declare the router, and the router will receive all the pages that you want to create. So if I go here, I got the example coming directly from basically from the documentation of React Router that you can find on reactrouter.com. Basically here I got my router setup, and I got only one page, which is down here. The last thing that I need to do on this file is to remove this app that I got here. So until now, this app was basically the root of your application. It was the only page that your React application was displaying. Now what we want to tell, hey, man, look at the address bar, look at the routes, look at the history of the browser, and just display the route related to the current path, okay? So what I need to do here is to call, basically, I need to call router provider, sorry. So I'm going to type router provider coming up here from React DOM, okay? And here I need to pass the router that we created on line 10 directly as a parameter of my component router provider. And suddenly, look at that, we've got hello world. So here I just could put actually this page is on path here on the path of home, right? So we got that. So here we can see that we've got the list of all the routes in an array. You could have that as an external file if you would like to. Me, just for this course, I'm just going to keep it like this. Or probably you don't have that much pages, so probably you can keep it in here. Okay, let's just create another route now. So I'm going to go down, and instead I'm going to put test, and here I'm going to put this page is on path test. So basically here, router provider that is just up here will take care about all the pages that I'm going to create. So here I'm just going to pass /test here on my localhost. I'm going to type enter, and there we go. This page is on path test. Okay, so by the way, what we can do here, just going to our package.json, here I would like to change the port and having the port of my application on port 3000, so I can put these two hyphens here, port 3000, or the number that you want, and I can stop my application, run again, and suddenly my application runs on port 3000. Okay, so I can just close that. I'm just going to pass on port 3000, and there we go. So you can create as many pages as you want, but the thing that I advise you to do, and that's what I do myself, is to go here on our architecture here, and we can either create a pages folder where we are going to store a JSX component that will act as pages. So me, in my mind, the components are pieces of UI that compose pages. So we need pages as JSX roots files, and we inject the components into it. So you can call it pages, or you can call them roots. So here, just for this course, I'm going to call them roots. And this is basically what I do. Okay, I do this inside React. Inside Next.js, it's the pages folder. So here I got roots, and now I got this app.jsx that is a bit useless, because app.jsx just mean like this is the whole app. But we don't need this app.jsx anymore. We have everything in here in our main.jsx, okay? So what I can do is to get rid of this app.jsx. Just do that if you already got the roots, right? If you got the router and roots set up. Okay, so now what I can do is to have a home.jsx here at the root of my roots folder. And I can just init here my home here and say hello home page. And there we go. Now what I want to do, and this is why I made this demonstration, is to come back in here. And instead of having this piece of JSX as an element, I want to call home. Okay. So I need to import home from, and here I need to come back to the beginning here. Sorry, one. There we go. I'm going to go to roots and that home. And there we go. We've got basically here the router provider that called home as a page. All right. So here I can push into elements, components or roots or pages that will be the root of this specific path. Okay. So it means a lot. It means that here in my home page, let's come back here. What do I got as a component? Let's just create a custom component called hero.jsx. Okay, I'm going to type this. There we go. I'm going to say this is the hero component. All right, I'm going to keep it like this. In home, what I can do is to type hero. So do I got hero? I got hero up here as a use client or server. Doesn't matter in my case. I can call hero. And of course, I need to import hero. I just can close this from here / components. There we go. Hero. There we go. I got here, this is the hero component. We are still in home component or page or root. And there we go. We've got here our page that is composed by those two elements. Okay, so I can do this in here, but let's say that I would like to use the exact same page on /test. If I go on /test, I will have exactly the same page. But what if I would like to use hero as the component of the root? So here I'm just going to push hero on test. Okay. And there we go. On /test, I just got the component hero and there will be nothing left all around. So just to give you a simple demonstration, I'm going to put class here and I'm going to put width full. So I'm using Tailwind in here. BG red 500, okay? And on hero, I'm just going to put class px4py2 BG yellow 500, and I'm going to save that. There we go. So on the page test, we can see that I got the component in yellow and I got everything around that is white. This is normal because on our root, we just ask him to display the hero component. And this is on the main page that we should have something different. So if I come back in here, there we go. This is what we got. We are still in home component. But here the demonstration is not very good because we should have some padding to show that the yellow part, which is the hero component, is actually inside the home page. And because I got some CSS in here, we can see that my root has a max width, etc., etc. If I hide this, we can see that here the home component is actually basically on the whole page, the component, the page, the root that encapsulate our header. But if I come back to test, here we can see that now that I don't get any margin, any max width, we can see that the component take all the space. So we can push as component just down here the elements that will compose our root. Okay, so if we want to do some nested routing, it's also possible. So let me just give you an example. Let's just actually put like here, I would like to have a test and then to have another piece of test. Let's call it another test. Okay, let's say that I would have this. I would have test and another test. Okay, on the test page, we got that. And let's just come back to the hero and let's use the children, the native children prop that is used on React that you can use here. And my child is, and here I put children. Let's say that here on hero, what I would like to do is just to have a child that would be called, for instance, span. This is another test page. Okay, and I would save that. Okay, so here there is no child on, this is the hero component. But if I go on another test and I type enter, this is another test page, and I could just put here BG purple 500 text white. Okay, there we go. We can see here that on another test we've got the child, and here we don't get it. So you can also push children just down here. But what if here I would like to pass a dynamic parameter? Is it possible? Yes, of course, it's totally possible, and it would be dynamic, of course. So let's just say that basically we would have like a parameter called like user, and here I would have ID. So okay, I'm going to make some changes. I'm just going to remove here my BG purple whatever. Okay, let's say that I would have this is a child of, and here on my component, here on the top, I would like to catch the ID, which is here hello. So let's say that we would have very, very long number. I would like to catch this long number. Whatever it's the param, we would like to catch it. What I can do is to use the React DOM router to do it. And what I would need to do is to import use params from React router DOM. Okay, so use params would help me to catch actually the current parameter, and here in this case we already displayed it in here. It's ID. You can give the name you want. If you would like to have a slug, it could be a slug. Okay, so here I got ID, and let's say that just after I would like to display actually the ID as the number, and we could see here that I can catch the parameter thanks to React DOM router directly here with the ID. Okay, so here you could have very, very long nested roots, and whatever would be the parameter, you would be able to catch it thanks to use params that you get here. This use params hooks helps you to retrieve the parameters from the URL, dynamic data, and handling is easier after that. Okay, a last thing that I would like to show you is to create a not found page. And I'm going to unzoom a little bit. Here we would like to create a not found page. So what we could do is to go on roots here and create a not found.jsx. Okay, and I could initiate my component. This page doesn't exist. All right, so I can just save that, and we've got this component that could be a page, either on client, either on server, whatever. And what we would like to do is to catch it. So here, I'm going to zoom to show you the trick. Here, I'm going to call not found coming from the root. And instead of having the slash, I would have a star. The star says actually, I'm going to catch all the roots that are not registered and I'm going to show the element that you just specified. So if I go down there and I type whatever and I type enter, suddenly we've got this page doesn't exist, okay? Even if I'm doing very complicated element like hello true with parameters, with queries, and I type enter, it will catch all the pages that doesn't exist. But if I try to catch a page that exists, it's still going to work. Okay, this was a quick introduction to how to create a router with React. It helps you to deal with normal routes. It helps you to display different pages, to work on nested routes, to inject elements that can have children or not, to create new page, and also to catch parameters and queries. We are going to come back on parameters and queries just after. Now what we would like to do is to navigate between routes. So we are going to start to create together a small application just to see how we can display different routes.